Hello there. 3 episodes in, and I realize we never talked much about the brand of camper we actually own. Well, we've mentioned Eddy, but no one knows what an Eddy is. When we responded to the Facebook Marketplace ad, we thought the guy who owned it just gave it a nickname of Eddy. Sure, Eddy was painted on the front, Eddy was painted on the side, but we just figured he named it Eddy. Now, Justin and I name our cars. He, of course, owns a Chevy Trailblazer he named after Arnold Schwarzenegger, so he calls it Arnold. And I own a Chrysler minivan named Misty Blue. But after we saw Eddy, we realized the actual name brand of the camper was, well, Eddy. Eddy campers were made for about 5 years, starting in the early 90s. The company that made them was named Valor, and they went out of business after they stopped making Eddy trailers sometime after 1996. So I guess we have a bit of a rare camper, but not the kind of rare camper that is worth a bunch of money. Now, when we thought about Eddy and what Eddy's name stood for, I imagined some pretty cool Eddys that could serve as inspiration for our camper. Of course, I thought of this Eddy, and I thought of this Eddy. And I mean, you can't forget this Eddy. And what about this Eddy? I mean, at a stretch, there was even this Eddy. But the only, and I mean only, Eddy that came to Justin's mind was this Eddy. Our Eddy is a model named Eddy 15 for its length, and it was made in 1995. So there's the short history of our short camper. Now let's get back to work.
One of the first steps in a long project. Got to expose this corner, see what kind of leak we got in here, see how the wood framing is and the walls before I go ahead and reseal the outside corners of this camper. That seems to be the only leak in here so far, but we're going to go ahead and redo all the seams.
So here's that hatch from the inside. He's going to have to do some repair work because I guess he got one of the corners a little too big. I don't know, maybe 2 of the corners. Okay, then found a solution here for the problem, and he used the Eternabond to fix around this area. here's where we are as of now. The floor is in, and Justin mocked up the kitchen and was very pleased that the refrigerator fit so well between the two cabinets.